Hey guys, and welcome back to Legos Island. So today it is Tuesday, April 1st, 2025. And as you can see, the April Fool's Party for 2025 has begun, and we'll be going from April 1st to the 5th, ending on the 5th respectively. So, without further ado, let's jump right into it. Well, first we gotta see which free dogs we get for the day. God dang it, the third one fell down somewhere. Okay, the following we get today are Rez, Rover, and CoolCat33. Okay, starting off with the event, we already have our first item. The 2025 box set. There we go. Sorry, I said that wrong. Let's put that on. And that's how it looks. Of course, as usual, we have 4 pieces to collect. So, we'll collect them along the way. Outside of that, as you can see, we still got some leftover decorations from the anniversary party, but now they're recolored. At least this is, I think, the only room to do that. Oh, never mind, I guess the lodges too. But, yeah, as you can see, this is a bit downgraded compared to the previous year. But it's still a good party regardless, I promise. Anyway, that is it for the port, so we're going to automatically move on to the balcony, which also mainly just only has some streamers. So, that's pretty cool. Anyway, here's where the craziness truly starts. Heading into my cave, you may notice it looks very different compared to, what was previously seen. You see, the idea behind this is, if it doesn't already look kind of obvious, all of the major assets of this room have been swapped around. So, for example, where the carpet normally is where the oars are now. And, well, the carpet is now the bed. And the furnaces are now over here, where the jukebox is here now. And this is normally supposed to be this, and then you may notice the event room entrance has been changed to a table, and then this is normally what the bed is supposed to be made out of. And then where the oars are normally are now where all the dragon eggs are. So as you may notice, all of the assets of the room have been completely swapped around, which is pretty crazy. The chairs are now what used to be the couch, and the couch is now what the stairs used to be. So, yeah, it's pretty clear what happened here. Everything's mixed around, just swapped around in general. Honestly, I'm surprised I never did this in previous years, or at least from my knowledge. I mean, I've watched all the April Fool's Party videos up until this point, so I should know for a fact I haven't done this yet. Oh, and the little mini carpet has been changed to oars representing the colors of it, so that's cool. Next up is the lodge. Now, it may not look too impressive out here, but when we get in there, that's where things will get more interesting. You see, our next item, the 2025 box costume, 1 out of 2, is right here. We can put that on, and that is how it looks. 2 more pieces to go. Anyway, continuing on, the little short grass here has been replaced with dry grass, or at least the tall dry grass to be specific. As you can see, we got more streamers around here. It's super cool. And, well, here's where things get really interesting. Heading on into the lodge itself, as we can see, things definitely do not look right here. As you may notice, everything is floating, aka all the furniture. Like, all of the furniture from the lodge is straight up just floating in the air, which means we can climb on top of it, which is normally something we are never able to do here in the lodge. We are normally never supposed to be able to get up here, but during this party, that's a reality. Oh boy, if you thought that was crazy, oh yeah, it gets more crazier up here. It's actually freaking crazy. No, literally, as you may notice, literally everything is floating in the air. That is seriously clever. The thing is, though, this isn't technically the first time I'm doing this. Back in the April Fool's Party 2020, 5 years ago, we can clearly see that we made the entirety of the upstairs of the lodge float. Except, you may notice, judging by this footage and what you just saw now, there are some major differences. First of all, unlike that, the couches are actually floating this time, alongside the bookshelves. And it's actually the normal colored furniture rather than the April Fool's colors. So those are some major differences. So it's not entirely the same, but I thought I'd bring it back because I thought it looked cool. But another reason I brought it back is mainly because we didn't have this back room back then. So now this is entirely different. Everything's floating in the air now, which is actually pretty crazy. Even the crafting table. And I don't know if I got to show you this about a minute ago, but even over here is as well. And actually, unlike the 2020 event, these are floating too. I looked at the original footage, and we can confirm only the upstairs had the furniture floating, and not the downstairs, as it was seen here by a portal. So this is technically different. Moving on to the blacksmith shop, as we can clearly see, we have our third item, being the 2025 box costume 2 out of 2. Let's put it on, and that is how it looks. Continuing on the tour, as you may notice, the fences for the blacksmith shop that are normally, of course, the warped fences have now been replaced with the twisting vines and the pointed dripstones. So those are super cool. Oh, and another thing you may notice. The objects of the room have been swapped around, aka the anvil is normally supposed to be over here, and, of course, the smithing table is supposed to normally be over there. But oh boy, it gets more crazier than that. Did you happen to notice that the furnaces are gone? Well, not entirely. They're actually in here, where the furniture has also been swapped around as well. The bed is normally supposed to be where this table is, and this table is normally supposed to be over where this bed is now. And the furnaces are straight up not even supposed to even be in here. But, oh, I did it anyway. Because honestly, I don't know. I thought it would be cool. Oh, now this one's gonna be fun. The resort, as you can see, has all the umbrellas upside down. Now, we technically already saw this in the Creations World. But since this is the actual resort for Legos Island, I thought, why not put it in here too? It was just that funny. It's also where we can find our last box-themed item, the 2025 box shoes. Let's put those on. And that is how they look. With the box armor done, we don't need to do that anymore. But that isn't the only 4 items. No, we got plenty more that we'll be collecting along the way. Because, of course, the umbrellas got flipped over, the chairs are also in the ocean. All 6 of them, to be exact. And to be honest, that is super freaking funny. At least I think it is. But, to be honest, this is super cool. And see, there's like an overview of the whole room from back here. It's genuinely that cool. Also, I'm kind of surprised it took me this long to actually do something like this, honestly, for the resort. I assumed I would have done it years ago, but no, I looked at all the other ones, and I've never done this. At least up until I did it in the Creations World. Theme Park is next, and if it doesn't already look obvious, everything, as you can see, is practically see-through, aka transparent at this point. So, as you may notice, like, literally everything is see-through at this point, or at least here in the entrance, that is, or at least the main center area. Like, all of the, little entrances to all the parks, even the Daily Spin, are all, like, see-through. Even the prize booth, I don't know. It honestly looks pretty cool, honestly, because, yeah, now you can actually see everything. It's pretty cool. It's like, yeah, everything's, like, fading out. So, that's pretty cool. At least I think it is. So, yeah, and see, there's the April Fool's coaster from the last episode. Anyway, that is super cool. Next up is the medieval part. It's actually going to be where we collect our next item, the April Fool's 2025 medieval banner. Let's go ahead and put that on. And that is how it looks. Continuing on, we have all the medieval banners around here. And by the way, just for the record, it is only the medieval banners that officially got updated here. As you may notice, the carpet has gone back to its normal color. That's because the only thing updated here is the banners themselves. Nothing else beyond that. Anyway, heading on up here, as you may notice. Yep, we have the banners literally everywhere. They honestly look super cool. Oh, come on! I thought I got all of them. I swear, man, I kept checking for ages to make sure that I got all of them, and apparently I didn't. That was slightly hidden. But, yeah, no, this actually does look pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. And going up here, okay, I'm just checking real quick. Do I have any more that I need to do? No, I got all of them, okay. Alright, I don't know, just checking real quick, because you never know, man. We just already ran into one of them, so, I don't know, just looking real quick just to make sure I didn't miss any. But yeah, no, this is how it looks. And honestly, it looks really nice. And that's it for the theme park, like, entirely, so let's get out of here. Oh, before we continue further, I don't know if you noticed this earlier when I was at the lodge. I forgot to go back here, but there's actually a portal back here. Heading through it sent us to the exact portal that's based off of the lodge. And, of course, if we go back through it, we are sent back to this exact same spot. So, the portals across the island have returned as usual. I don't know, I like bringing that back every year ever since 2020. Okay, now we can move on. And I'll be sure to showcase the portals in the areas when I'm actually at them this time. That was my fault. I only just realized right after we got to the theme park. Two small mountains are next, and, well, if it doesn't already look obvious what happened here, it is entirely melted. Like, look at this. Holy frick, man. Yeah, it's, like, entirely melted here. That's crazy, right? And see, even up here, it is all entirely melted for this party. Well, except for down there, but yeah. Anyway, this is how it looks. Looks super cool. And yeah, no, it's true though. The entirety of the two small mountains are like entirely melted. Like all of this is supposed to be snow, just like how it is down there. But for the sake of this party, as a joke, everything has been completely melted. Alright, this next one's gonna be interesting. So much so that I actually have to sit these guys down so they don't get caught in whatever we're about to do. So the Pet Cemetery Mountain is going to be very interesting because the idea behind this is that we have to search for the next item in one of these many chests scattered across the mountain. How the heck did he get here? You know, he just showed up out of nowhere. But yeah, like I was saying, we have to search for the next item in one of these many chests. And hoppers, and also furnaces. Yeah, you get the idea. So, one of these many hold the item that we're about to collect, being the April Fool's 2025 banner. So, let's get searching. And you can clearly see why I needed to put those guys up there, because they'll get stuck in the boats. So, we're going to first check the hopper. And no, there is no item. We can go in here, open up the inventory, and still no item. We can hop out of there. We can head to our next one, being the minecart with a chest. Opening it up, still no item. Let's check the bow, the pale bow. Opening it up, there's the item! Being April Fool's 2025 banner, as I just said. Now, of course, the others, especially the furnace, and then the cherry boat, and lastly, of course, the minecart with TNT, all don't have anything, as of course, this was the one that held the item. With all that being said, heading on in here, this is where things get even more interesting. As you may clearly notice, everything has been swapped around again, just like the cave. As you may notice, all of the dog beds are completely swapped. And even this got completely swapped, like all the colors were swapped. And that's not even all of it. Even up here got swapped too, like all the colors did too. So this is honestly pretty freaking cool. Again, this is something I also have never done yet. I've checked older videos and I have not done this yet. That's still kind of a surprise all these years later. But, yeah. That's super cool. And that's really it for the Pet Cemetery Mountain. So, we're gonna get out of here now. And, go get these guys again, so we can officially make our way down to, of course, the village. This one should also be pretty interesting. The main premise behind here is something similar to what we did in the Creations world. For example, if you haven't already managed to pay attention to the building here for the coffee shop, first of all, the anvil is over here when it's normally supposed to be over here. You may also notice the coffee shop door is on the left rather than the right. And, just for the record, heading on inside, as we can clearly see exactly what happened in here. A very similar thing that happened to Florida House 1 in the Creations world. And yes, there is another portal back there that will send us to the Nether. But, before we head back there, as you may notice, the entire coffee shop has been completely flipped. It's pretty clear what's supposed to be what. This counter is normally supposed to be over here, and this is normally supposed to be over here where that portal is. And then the tables and chairs are as follows. This is normally supposed to be over here, and you get the idea. Everything's been flipped around. Now, of course, I will gladly go through that portal, just to show you that I wasn't kidding. Huh, that's weird. Apparently it went through that portal. But don't worry, we can jump right back through it because it will send us back to the coffee shop. With all that said, now that that's done, let's get out of here. And now we're going to move on to the library. Actually, before we do that, we will collect our final remaining items. Let me just clear my inventory. The Dimension Portal hat. Let's pick that up and let's put it on. And that's how it looks. This is mainly to represent the portals across the village. And we have our final official item, being the Dimension Portal banner. Let's put it on. And that is also how it looks. With all that said, now that the items are done, we don't need to do it for the remainder of the video. Now, the library does look a bit different. You may notice the doors are on the opposite sides. Normally, they're supposed to, of course, not be like this. They're meant to be the other way around. But, since this is all flipped, like the library, for example, yeah, it's pretty clear why the doors are like this. As you can see, everything is completely flipped. And to be personally real, this is honestly super cool, man. And you may think this probably would have taken a while. Just for the record, it actually didn't. It didn't really take that long, honestly. And it won't even take that long to really put back after either. So if you're thinking that this took forever, actually no. It wasn't even that bad. But in here is next. And as you can see, it is not only flipped around, but we also have another portal. This, of course, leads to, well, not there. It is actually meant to represent this portal right here with the house. So, by jumping through it, we are automatically back in this house again. It's pretty clear what we're getting ourselves into. With the house completely flipped around, and with the portal, it makes it pretty wacky. Okay, 2 more rooms. So, right here, we have the other village house, and it has also been flipped around as well. Of course, we have another portal, which just sent us over here. In actual reality, it's actually meant to represent this house right here, as we can see that there is a portal in it. Heading over here, it just sent us to the middle of frickin' nowhere for some reason. Correction, very far away from the village. Regardless, the room is still flipped around as normal. The furnaces are supposed to be over here. This table is supposed to be over here. The beds are supposed to be over here. And the chest is supposed to be over here. So that's pretty cool. And you got the idea for the other houses and everything. So we only got 1 room left, being the clothes shop. The only one that didn't get flipped. This mainly just has some traditional April Fool's decorations. But beyond that, there is nothing else to say about this party. Because, funny enough, that is ironically the final room in this entire party. With all that said, guys, thank you so much for watching this episode of LEGO's Island. I hope you guys loved the April Fool's Party of 2025. Sure, it may be a bit smaller than previous years, but that's okay. I could only come up with so many ideas for an event like this. But personally, what was your favorite room of this? And what was your favorite item? I'd love to hear it in the comments. With all that being said, guys, I will see you all in the next episode on Thursday, April 3rd.